Sirens howled through the balmy dusk of Cedar Falls, North Carolina, their shrill wail ricocheting off the neat brick facades of Brookhaven Lane. An urgent voice crackled from a police radio. Suspect is a 10-year-old black female. Reported violent, possibly armed. 10-year-old and possibly armed? The very words hung in the humid summer air like acrid smoke, baffling every neighbor who would later swear they had heard nothing but the steady thump of a soccer ball against a garage door. Moments earlier, Aaliyah Thompson had been doing what she loved most, juggling her bright orange soccer ball in her grandmother's driveway, sunlight slanting through crepe myrtle branches in pink and gold ribbons. Aaliyah was small for her age, whip-smart and fearless, the sort of kid who held doors for elders yet could outrun boys twice her size in a sprint. That evening she wore a Charlotte FC jersey and rainbow sneakers, her braids swinging in time with her careful kicks. Her laugh, quick, bright, innocent, carried across the cul-de-sac. Watching from 3 houses down, Gregory Whitfield decided he'd seen enough. Gregory was 50, white, and broad-shouldered from years managing a chain of hardware stores. Retirement had left him restless and irritable. He fancied himself guardian of property values on Brookhaven Lane. In truth, sorrow and bitterness clung to him like the cigarette smoke that forever perfumed his breath. His only son had moved away, his marriage limped on in icy silence, and he filled the void with HOA bylaws, next-door rants, and the intoxicating rush of authority derived from dialing 911. Earlier that week, Gregory had posted in the Cedar Falls Neighborhood Watch Forum. Saw unfamiliar young girl loitering again at 214 Brookhaven. Reporting suspicious activity to police ASAP. Keep doors locked. Most neighbors rolled their eyes, except Officer Harriet Cole and Officer Dana Reeves, 2 patrol partners whose disciplinary files bulged with citizen complaints and use of force reviews. They monitored community reports incessantly, certain they were the thin blue line between good people and imagined threats. Gregory's posts appealed to their worst instincts. This Friday evening, Gregory seized his chance. Standing beside his immaculate fescue lawn, he whipped out his iPhone and punched 911. His voice trembled with feigned fear. There's a young black girl here. 10, maybe 12. She's been casing houses all week. I confronted her just now. She cursed and reached in her pocket like she had a knife. I'm a disabled veteran. I feel threatened. He stressed disabled veteran for dramatic flourish, neglecting to mention his barstool stories about the war were largely embellished. Dispatcher protocol demanded immediate response. Sirens ignited. Across town, Officer Cole slammed her cruiser into gear, Reeves beside her, relishing the promise of adrenaline. While the squad car rocketed toward Brookhaven Lane, Aaliyah's grandmother, Eloise Sterling, leaned on her porch railing, smiling at her granddaughter's slick footwork. Eloise, 71, possessed that unruffled grace only lifelong school librarians seemed to master. She had lived on Brookhaven Lane 32 years, raised 3 children there, and never once seen trouble, until Gregory Whitfield's arrival the previous winter. Eloise noticed Gregory pacing near his mailbox, phone pressed to his ear, gaze fixed on Aaliyah. Something about his rigid posture made the hair on her arms stand. She called out, "Evening, Mr. Whitfield." He ignored her, still talking. Aaliyah stopped juggling, ball resting at her toes. "Gran, what's wrong with Mr. Whitfield? He's staring." Before Eloise could answer, police headlights split the twilight. 2 cruisers screeched to a halt at the curb, tires spitting gravel. Doors flew open. "Hands up. Get on the ground." Officer Cole shouted, weapon half drawn. Aaliyah froze, confusion flooding her big brown eyes. "Me?" she whispered. Eloise stepped forward. "Officers, surely theirs." "Ma'am, back on the porch." Reeves barked. Aaliyah raised trembling hands. The soccer ball wobbled away and rolled beneath Gregory's boxwood hedge. Cole grabbed the child by the wrist, jerking her elbows behind her, silver cuffs snapping shut. 10-year-old wrists looked grotesquely tiny inside adult restraints. Tears welled but did not fall. Aaliyah heard her mother's voice in her mind. If authority confronts you, keep calm, keep respectful, keep breathing. Her mother, after all, was Deputy Police Commissioner Rochelle Thompson, the highest-ranking officer in Cedar Falls and the first black woman in the role. Aaliyah didn't know exactly what her mom did every day, only that she left home before dawn in tailored dress blues and carried gravity like a cloak. As Cole jammed Aaliyah onto the cruiser's rear seat, Eloise's cell phone buzzed. Aaliyah had triggered her Apple Watch SOS the moment Cole touched her arm. The call reached Rochelle just as she wrapped up a meeting with the mayor about community outreach. The watch forwarded a 20-second audio clip. Shouts of hands up, a girl's gasp, metal clinking. Rochelle's blood iced. I need my duty vehicle now, she told her driver, voice flat. Lights and siren roared as they surged into traffic toward Brookhaven Lane. Back at the scene, Gregory swaggered closer, lips curled into a martyr's grin. Thank you, officers, he said loudly, ensuring onlooking neighbors heard. She threatened me and has been stealing Amazon packages all month. He flourished printed photos. Evidence, he claimed, grainy ring cam stills of some indistinct figure in a hoodie. The timestamps didn't match his story, but neither officer bothered to check. Aaliyah, seated behind the partition, stared through tear-blurred glass at her grandmother, who stood helpless on the porch, phone to ear. Neighbors emerged. The Alvarezes, the Nguyen's, the Parkers. Murmurs swelled. A child? Cuffed. What on earth? Cole radioed dispatch. Suspect in custody. Witness confirms theft pattern. We're transporting. Aaliyah's voice trembled from the back seat. Please, may I call my mom? She can explain. Reeves smirked. Your mom can meet you at juvenile intake. The words barely left her mouth when a black Chevy Tahoe sliced onto Brookhaven Lane, grille lights strobing pure white. The SUV braked inches behind the rear cruiser. Its door swung wide, and Deputy Commissioner Rochelle Thompson stepped out. Uniform flawless, command presence unmistakable. Cole's jaw dropped. Come, Commissioner. Rochelle scanned the tableau. Daughter locked in a police car, handcuffed, elderly mother trembling, smug neighbor clutching false evidence, 2 officers stiff with sudden apprehension. Her voice carried the calm of a gathering storm. Officers, unlock that door. Now. Reeves fumbled keys. The cuffs came off. Rochelle knelt, eye to eye with Aaliyah. You okay, baby? Aaliyah nodded once, the nod of a brave child who would cry later, in private. Rochelle stood, spine ruler straight. Report, she ordered. Cole stammered through Gregory's allegations. Rochelle interrupted. Any physical evidence? Stolen property on her person? Surveillance video verified. Silence. Did you interview the child's legal guardian? Silence. Eloise lifted a shaking hand. They wouldn't let me speak, Rochelle. Rochelle turned to Gregory. Sir, state your accusations. He repeated them, less confidently now. She asked, when did you install that ring camera? He blinked. A few weeks ago. Rochelle checked her watch. Yet Mrs. Alvarez's camera across the street has been up 2 years. She gestured. Mrs. Alvarez stepped forward, clutching her phone, screen already showing tonight's time-stamped footage. Aaliyah juggling a ball. Gregory pacing with his phone, zero confrontation. Cole's face blanched. Reeves swallowed hard. Gregory sneered. That proves nothing. She hides things in her pockets. She threatened me, called me old man. A soft chuff rippled through the neighbors. Aaliyah calling anyone old man was unthinkable. She addressed even the mail carrier as Mr. Danny. Rochelle keyed her radio. Dispatch, Deputy Commissioner Thompson. Request Internal Affairs Supervisor to Brookhaven Lane, Code 2. Also request Juvenile Advocate. Cole's shoulders sagged. Reeves muttered, oh hell. Yet the night's twists weren't done. From the cul-de-sac entrance, a gold Lexus hybrid glided in. Outstepped Meredith Whitfield, Gregory's wife, still in hospital scrubs. She was head nurse at Cedar Falls Memorial. She surveyed flashing lights, recognized Deputy Commissioner Thompson from local news, and hurried over. What's happened? Gregory barked. I stopped the thief. Officers have it under control. Meredith's gaze darted from her husband's clenched jaw to Aaliyah's red wrists. She whispered to Rochelle, Commissioner, may I speak to you privately? Minutes later, Meredith stood before the gathering, voice quivering. I must correct the record. I've been home most days. No packages have been stolen. The only missing item is Gregory's sense of decency. Gasps rose. Gregory's face flamed crimson. Meredith continued. My ring history shows my husband deleting event clips after he walks to the porch with scissors, cutting open his own deliveries, then reboxing them. He was manufacturing evidence. She handed Rochelle her phone. The screen showed cloud storage logs, deleted files, all at Gregory's login. The humiliation felt volcanic. Gregory sputtered. You're siding with him? Over your own husband. She answered softly. Over the truth, Greg. Internal Affairs arrived. Lieutenant Marisol Green, clipboard ready. She separated Cole and Reeves for statements, photographed Aaliyah's wrists, collected ring cam footage from 4 neighbors, and Meredith. Meanwhile, children across Brookhaven Lane, awakened by sirens, watched from windows as a grown man was placed in the back of a patrol car, head bowed. Gregory was charged with filing a false police report, harassment of a minor, and obstruction. But Rochelle understood systemic rot ran deeper than one bitter retiree. In the street lamp's glow, she addressed Cole and Reeves. You bypassed investigative basics and placed a child in danger because her skin fit Mr. Whitfield's narrative. Expect suspension pending disciplinary review. She paused, letting the moment etch into their memories. Bias isn't just ugly, it's lethal. Reeves croaked, Commissioner, we're sorry. Rochelle's gaze never softened. Tell that to my daughter's nightmares. News crews descended within an hour, camera lights, microphones, push alert headlines. Deputy Commissioner's child wrongfully arrested. Neighbor fabricated claims. By dawn, footage of a 10-year-old being cuffed had gone national. Social media storm clouds thundered. In the days that followed, Cedar Falls Police Department launched mandatory anti-bias retraining. Cole resigned before hearings began. Reeves accepted demotion and counseling, vowing to rebuild community trust one front porch conversation at a time. School board invited Rochelle to speak about civic responsibility. She brought Aaliyah, who told classmates, voice clear, courage isn't loud. Sometimes it's just staying kind when others aren't. Brookhaven Lane transformed. The HOA elected Eloise president, replacing bylaws about mailbox paint shades with initiatives for block parties and shared gardens. At the first such gathering, Mr. Alvarez grilled chicken adobo, Miss Nguyen taught Tai Chi in the cul-de-sac, and Mrs. Parker read poetry. Children chalked murals of interlocked hands down the asphalt. As sunset painted the sky lavender, Aaliyah dribbled her orange ball again. This time midfield of an impromptu street match. Rochelle, out of uniform, stood beside Meredith Whitfield, who was finalizing divorce papers but felt lighter than she had in years. They cheered when Aaliyah executed a perfect bicycle kick, ball arcing past chalk-drawn goals, neighbors erupting in applause. Rochelle inhaled cedar-scented air, heart thrumming with gratitude. Justice, she knew, was rarely swift, never simple. But tonight Brookhaven Lane felt like a starting whistle, a promise that vigilance and empathy could outscore fear. Inside the county detention center, Gregory Whitfield replayed the moment he'd dialed 911, hearing now the thinness of his lie, the cruelty laced into every syllable. The world outside kept spinning, children laughing, soccer balls thumping, lives intersecting in colors richer than any lawn he ever tried to police. And for the first time, the silence of his cell sounded exactly like consequence.